What happens when one of the richest men in Asia, once a global icon of business success, suddenly vanishes? Jack Ma, the billionaire founder of Alibaba, was more than just wealthy. He was a symbol of China's rise, a charismatic speaker, a rock star CEO who once danced on stage in leather jackets. But in late 2020, he disappeared from public life almost overnight. No speeches, no interviews, no flashy appearances, just silence. Some say he was silenced by Beijing. Others say he's living quietly in Tokyo or enjoying secret retreats on his mega yacht in Spain. But the truth, it's far stranger and far more revealing than most people realize. Today, we're diving into the untold story of Jack Ma, his rise from nothing, his mysterious disappearance, and the billionaire lifestyle he now keeps hidden from the world. But before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell, because we're about to unravel secrets the ultra-rich don't want you to know. The humble beginnings. Jack Ma wasn't born into wealth. In fact, he grew up during one of China's poorest periods. His childhood in Hangzhou was marked by scarcity, rejection, and a deep hunger for opportunity. Ma applied for dozens of jobs and was rejected by almost all of them. When KFC opened in his city, 24 people applied, 23 were hired. The only one rejected? Jack Ma. But rejection didn't crush him. It lit a fire. He spent years learning English by giving free tours to foreigners in Hangzhou's hotels. His obsession with connecting to the outside world gave him a skill most Chinese entrepreneurs didn't have: a global vision. In 1999, Jack Ma gathered 17 friends into his tiny apartment and pitched them a crazy idea: an online marketplace, Alibaba, that would connect small Chinese businesses with buyers around the world. The internet was barely a thing in China back then. People thought he was delusional, but Jack Ma believed in it with religious conviction, and that conviction turned into one of the biggest companies on earth. Alibaba didn't just grow, it exploded, rivaling Amazon, PayPal, and eBay combined. Jack Ma became more than a businessman. He became a legend, a billionaire who had defied poverty, rejection, and doubt. But in China, success always comes at a price. The turning point. For years, Jack Ma was untouchable. He gave motivational speeches, spoke at Davos, met presidents and celebrities, and became the face of Chinese entrepreneurship. But in October 2020, everything changed. Jack Ma gave a speech in Shanghai, criticizing China's financial regulators. He called them outdated, overly cautious, and accused them of holding back innovation. That was the mistake. Within weeks, Beijing responded. The government blocked the record-shattering $37 billion IPO of Ant Group, Jack Ma's fintech giant. It would have been the largest stock market debut in history. Instead, it was crushed overnight. And then, Jack Ma vanished. No public appearances, no social media, no interviews. The man who once couldn't stop talking simply disappeared. Global media went into overdrive. Was he detained? Silenced? Hiding? Even Elon Musk publicly joked about Ma's mysterious absence. And for months, the world had no answers. The mystery deepens. So where did Jack Ma go? Rumors placed him everywhere. Some said he was confined to his mansion in Hangzhou under government watch. Others claimed he escaped to Singapore, living quietly in luxury hotels. A few even spotted him in Spain, relaxing on a $200 million super yacht. In 2021, reports emerged that he was in Tokyo, Japan, living with his family, taking business classes, and keeping a low profile. He was occasionally spotted at private golf courses and exclusive restaurants, always discreet, always quiet. In 2022, he popped up in the Netherlands, visiting agricultural facilities. In 2023, he was reportedly back in Hangzhou for a short time, then disappeared again. The mystery around Jack Ma only grows. Each time he's spotted, whether at a quiet dinner in Tokyo or a brief stop in Thailand, new questions emerge. Is he living freely, or is he carefully monitored? Some believe he struck a deal with the Chinese government, trading silence for safety. Others think he's voluntarily withdrawn, reshaping his life away from the spotlight. What's striking is how little we truly know. In an age where billionaires broadcast every move, Jack Ma has turned invisibility into his shield. His absence speaks louder than any public speech could. It became clear that Jack Ma hadn't been erased. He had simply chosen to live like a shadow. The man once addicted to the spotlight was now mastering invisibility. But while he stayed silent, his wealth told another story. Jack Ma's hidden fortune. Here's what most people don't realize. Jack Ma's fortune isn't just Alibaba stock, it's a vast, carefully hidden empire. His assets include private jets like the $60 million Gulfstream G550, capable of flying him anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. A rumored super yacht equipped with spas, cinemas, and even underwater exploration toys. Luxury mansions in Hangzhou, Hong Kong, and reportedly abroad in Europe and Asia. Hidden investments in education, agriculture, and AI companies, spread through holding firms and trusts. But perhaps the most fascinating part of his empire is his philanthropy strategy. While many billionaires use charity to polish their public image, Jack Ma's foundations work more like chess moves. They build influence in areas like rural education and sustainable farming, sectors that align with China's government priorities. It's not just generosity, it's survival. Unlike Elon Musk, who flaunts rockets and Twitter battles, Jack Ma has learned the art of invisibility. He doesn't show his toys, he hides them. Why? Because in China, the government can take your empire away in a single stroke. By keeping his wealth decentralized and hidden, Jack Ma ensures that no one, not even Beijing, can fully erase him. This isn't just luxury, it's a strategy. A survival game at the highest level. The life of a billionaire ghost. What does life look like for Jack Ma today? Think of it as the billionaire version of witness protection, except instead of living in fear, he lives in luxury. In Tokyo, he was spotted at Michelin-starred restaurants, dining quietly without cameras. In Spain, he reportedly took casual walks by the sea with close friends. In Singapore, he was rumored to spend time in private clubs, golfing away from the public eye. He also spends significant time studying, not business, but culture and history. Friends have said Jack Ma is fascinated by the fall of empires, Roman, British, Ottoman. He studies them not as history, but as blueprints of power. For someone like him, history isn't just knowledge, it's survival training. But here's the twist. Unlike Jeff Bezos, who shows off his yachts and parties, Jack Ma now avoids showing anything. It's almost monk-like, a billionaire monk, choosing privacy over publicity, silence over speeches, shadows over the spotlight. But don't mistake that for weakness. Behind the scenes, Ma still wields influence. His companies still dominate. His wealth still puts him in the top tier of global billionaires. He has simply rewritten the billionaire playbook, the lessons of Jack Ma. So, why does Jack Ma still matter? Because his story is a warning and a lesson. A warning to other billionaires. No matter how rich you are, no matter how famous, one wrong move can put everything at risk. Speak against the system, and you might be forced to vanish. But also a lesson. True power isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes the richest man in the room is the one you don't even notice is there. Jack Ma went from one of the most visible billionaires in the world to one of the most invisible. And in a strange way, that invisibility has become his greatest strength. Jack Ma teaches us that success is never permanent. He showed the world that courage, creativity, and persistence can change an entire nation's economy. Yet his downfall reminds us of the limits of wealth when it collides with politics. Ma's silence is not weakness, it's survival. He adapted, proving that sometimes stepping back is smarter than fighting forward. His life warns entrepreneurs that true influence comes not just from money, but from understanding when to speak and when to disappear. In the end, Jack Ma's greatest lesson is balance between ambition, humility, and survival. Because when nobody knows exactly where you are, nobody knows exactly what you're planning. And maybe that's the final trick of Jack Ma, turning disappearance into the ultimate form of power. So where is Jack Ma? The truth is, he could be anywhere. Tokyo, Singapore, the Mediterranean, a luxury estate in Hangzhou, or sailing quietly across the seas. But maybe that's the point. Jack Ma's disappearance isn't just about politics or power, it's about mystery. And in today's world, mystery is the ultimate luxury. Because when you're worth billions, sometimes the greatest flex isn't being seen, it's being unseen. So now I'll ask you, if you had $30 billion, would you live like Elon Musk, loud, public, and constantly in the spotlight? Or would you live like Jack Ma, hidden, untouchable, a ghost in plain sight? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more billionaire secrets.